Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Thor, issue number 9. Alright, I haven't been following Thor as much as I possibly should have, but I think that there's a first appearance in here. Not of a person, though. Okay, let's get started on this. We got The Woman with the Vibranium Gun, writer Jason Aaron, artist Mike Del Mundo. Letters and production, VC's Joe Sabino. Logo, Jay Bowen. Cover artist, Mike Del Mundo. And variant cover artists. We got one by Greg Smallwood and another by Phil freaking Noto. Thor was created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby. Okay, so Dario Agger apparently got drunk one night and made a phone call to somebody, apparently a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. They get right into it in the next page. It's available in the previews. But anyway, it's Rosalind Solomon. Now, Rosalind, I remember a couple of issues of her. I actually don't have her first appearance. I thought I did. That's Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 12. Go check it out. Back in 1993. Had to look it up. Anyway, what do you call it? She's taking on a much bigger role now. All right. While she used to be an environmentalist who wound up killing a bunch of trolls way back in the day, she turns around and now she is becoming the first agent of Wakanda, or at least the first one that we hear about. And she's given a vibranium gun, vibranium in her new suit, which, vibranium in the gauntlets and the boots of her new suit. And she's given a super duper car that's like a flying car. I know that Jason Aaron isn't an engineer, but saying that something has more tech than a rocket ship that takes men to other planets, you know that our cell phones have more tech in it than the first spaceships that could take us to other planets, right? Like it's just a bunch of moving parts. That's all a rocket ship actually is. It's nothing. Believe it or not, it's actually not that impressive. The impressive part is the guys behind the rocket ships, plotting the courses, doing the whole slingshotting around the planets and the moons and whatnot to get to where they're going on no fuel, and escape velocity and direction, because those things are actually kind of important. A rocket ship in itself isn't that important, but granted, this is the Marvel Universe we're talking about, and for some reason, Reed Richards wants a super duper hyped up starship to go someplace. I understand. If it's warp drive, okay, fine. My phone can't do that. But, yeah, rocket ships in general aren't that impressive. Neither a space shuttle. Sorry. What's cool, though, is that she's got like this spy tech and whatnot. Talk about Roz. And she has the coolest conversation with freaking Jane Foster ever. she goes out and she's face to face with a frost giant and a whole bunch of other baddies, and she makes a phone call while she's fighting to Jane Foster. How exactly should I beat a frost giant? Because I'm shooting this thing, and what do you call it? The first appearance that I think is in this comic book is the Black Bifrost. All right. What do you call it? I don't know if they actually mentioned that this is how the War of Realms is actually happening, how these guys are bouncing around from here to there to all these other places. Because I myself, I'm like, how are they getting to these different realms? If the Black Bifrost already was already mentioned prior to this, then okay, it is what it is. I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But I believe this is the first time they're actually mentioning it. It's the first time I'm noticing it, at least. Anyway, that's that. The way that she fights off and technically wins against the Frost Giant is nothing short of impressive. Good job. Damn good job. And it's exactly the way I would imagine an environmentalist being able to beat somebody, especially of that magnitude. There is actually, this is really a Roz Solomon story. There is a little bit of Thor Odinson in this, but mostly he's off, training with She-Hulk, meaning they get it on. They knocking uglies, and there's plenty of uglies there to knock. I'm just saying. But it's all really fun. It's all funny. As far as the comic book, I thought that this particular issue had a lot of action and a lot of thought behind it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I really did. Little hint of Cull Borson asking Odin, can I please go back to becoming the god of fear again? Because I really want to kick some serious butt here. So let's see if he goes full serpent again soon. He wants to kill some elves. I'm really looking forward to. I would love to see Malekith versus Cull. That would be sweet. But it's got to be Cull unleashed. Like Hercules Unchained. I want to see Cull Unchained. So there's also a bit of humor in here, which I enjoyed. The conversations of why Dario is under house arrest. That's perfect. That's perfect. Um, what happened? There was one part in here that I thought was the one part that I thought was kind of weird was Jason Aaron wrote in the new Agents of Wakanda to replace the Agents of Shield, so to speak. Mm, yeah. Is this going to be a worldwide thing like Shield was supposed to be? They operate out of America, but they really operate out of a lot of places, and they answer to an authority higher than that of the president. So there's that. Um, this Agents of Wakanda thing. It feels kind of cheap, but at the same time, it's also one of those things that could be all encompassing. So I'm wondering if the right person to create the Agents of Wakanda and the right place for it to be in is Jason Aaron in a Thor book of all places, not in an Avengers book, not in a Black Panther book, not even in a Shuri book. No, here in Thor. It's kind of weird. I do feel, however, that Jason Aaron is going to be taking over the Marvel Universe pretty soon. I know he's only on 2 books, but look at the key books that he's on. He's on Thor, kind of important, and he's on Avengers, so he's doubling down on Thor, and he's on the Avengers. When you think about it, really the book that's going to change more of the Marvel Universe than any other book is in fact going to be the Avengers. Plus he's got this event coming up, the War of Realms. That's going to mean something. Look, back in the day, it used to be Fantastic Four that would move things. I don't know about that anymore. They've been gone too long. The X-Men would have really huge events that didn't really affect anybody else for the most part. Not really. But the Avengers, man, those are the all-encompassing books that just take everybody in the Marvel Universe all over. So I'm curious. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit worried about Jason Aaron's intent. Yeah, I'm joking. But anyway, good comic book. Genuinely good comic book. I really did enjoy this issue. I know it's a Thor comic book, but some way, somehow, I would like to see more of this, of Ra's Solomon as an agent of Wakanda. This is really interesting. Just, again, wondering where exactly it's going to go. I feel like it should be its own book, Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.